Hello and welcome. You're watching News Mongolia MNB World. I'm your host, Ulaanbaatar. And for top stories, 20 school buses are operating in Ulaanbaatar city. Mongolia and Laos marked the 60th anniversary of diplomatic relations. Mongolia won 3 bronze medals on the first day of the Tel Aviv Judo Grand Slam. And for the news, stay tuned. In Ulaanbaatar city, there are 286 secondary schools, 152 state-owned, and 134 private schools. However, only 20 school buses of 19 schools are transporting around 1,200 students to and from school. Experts and parents note that we need far more school buses. I wish every school would operate its own school bus. Parents can chip in every month or every season, and I think it will noticeably reduce the traffic on Ulaanbaatar streets.
We spend 1 hour in traffic jam. It's quite a good idea. Not everyone has to drop off their kids using their own car. It will contribute to reducing the traffic jams.
City planning issue has become quite an issue, causing many traffic jams, and I think we really need more school buses.
Over 30% of parents with school-age children drop them off by car. According to a survey conducted in September 2021, traffic jams reduced by 3 to 6% because around 6,000 students were using 37 school buses. Currently, this number has decreased to around 1,200 school children using school buses. The main issue appears to that there is a shortage of petrol for the school buses.
Currently, we operate 24 school buses in 24 different directions. The Public Transport Authority has informed us that due to circumstances, school buses can operate in 31 to 34 directions. But we have submitted requests that we need to operate school buses in 34 directions in the upcoming second quarter.
Both parents and education sector professionals agree that school buses save time, money, and the nerves of both parents and students, contributing greatly to reducing traffic jams in Ulaanbaatar city.
Our next story is about a girl named Mandag who likes writing stories. The little girl has already published her first book titled Dragon's Journey.
Mandag published her first book when she was just 7 years old. Her fantastic story is titled Dragon's Journey, and the first book was published under the title Finding a Pearl. The girl donated some of her books to a public library in Tup province to encourage her peers to read those books.
I am a student in the 3rd grade at the secondary school in Tup province. I really like writing, and for a hobby I wrote a story. It's about 2 young girls named Hirlan and Holang who encountered a dragon while playing around a cliff. Then their journey starts to an inhabited island.
She started reading when she was around 3 years old. When she was 2 years old, we bought her some pencils and pens just to keep her occupied. She used to ask, "What letter is this?" when we were outside looking at car registration plates. Eventually, she started reading fairy tale books.
She dreams of becoming a writer and artist. Mandag is planning to write 9 books within the series of Dragon's Journey. She says that someday she would like to produce movies from her original stories.
The Ministry of Health and the National Center for Communicable Diseases provided its daily updates on COVID-19 status in Mongolia.
The Ministry of Health today reported that 761 COVID-19 cases were detected after tests were carried out at PCR laboratories across the country. In the past 24 hours, 3 new COVID-19 deaths were recorded. All new cases were confirmed domestically, out of which 361 were confirmed in Ulaanbaatar and 400 in the provinces. 5,573 COVID-19 patients are being treated at hospitals nationwide. Additionally, 18,080 patients are being treated at home. Among the patients being treated at hospitals, 1,544 are showing mild symptoms of illness and 48 are in critical condition. Around 2.17 million people, or 67% of the population, have had the 2 doses of a COVID-19 vaccine, and 31% of the population has received the first booster shot, and 2.9% has had the second booster shot so far.
Now let's take a look at Mongolia's current affairs.
The ambassador of Mongolia to the Lao People's Democratic Republic, Jamsram Yamsurang, met with the Lao Minister of Information, Culture and Tourism, Swansavan Vijaket, on February 7th. During the meeting, the two sides exchanged views on expanding friendly relations and cooperation between the two countries, including cooperation in the areas of culture and tourism, and to celebrate the 60th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations between Mongolia and Laos. The next day, Ambassador Bimsur met with Chansamon Chanalayat, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Defense of the Lao People's Democratic Republic, to discuss friendly relations and cooperation between the two countries, especially in the area of defense. Minister Chansamon Chanayalat expressed his willingness to restore relations and cooperation between the Ministries of Defense and said that the draft memorandum of cooperation between the ministries will be developed and submitted in the near future.
Now let's take a look at the currency exchange rates provided by Mongol Bank. The AFC's Asian Cup was successfully expanded in 2019 to 24 teams and hosted in the United Arab Emirates. For the 2023 version, 13 teams, including host China, have already qualified from the first round of the Asian qualifiers. That also served as first round qualifying for the 2022 World Cup. The final group stages will be played in June in venues across all 5 AFC zones in 6 host nations, including Mongolia, India, Kuwait, Kyrgyz Republic, Malaysia and Uzbekistan. The AFC's flagship men's national team competition was successfully expanded in 2019 to 24 teams and hosted in the United Arab Emirates. For the 2023 season, 13 teams, including host China, have already qualified from the first round of the Asian qualifiers that also served as the first round qualifying for the 2022 World Cup. Mongolia has been selected as one of the 6 nations that will host the final round of the AFC Asian Cup 2023 qualifiers. Kuwait, Kyrgyz Republic, Malaysia, India and Uzbekistan will also host apart from Mongolia. Based on the latest FIFA rankings, which was released on February 10th, the 24 participating teams will be divided into 5 seeding pots. The 6 host countries will be taken from their seeding pot and placed in a separate host pot in order to prevent them from being drawn into the same group, although their final group positions will reflect their original draw seeding. Among the 6 host countries, Uzbekistan, Kyrgyz Republic and India will be placed in position 1 of their final round groups, while Kuwait, Malaysia and Mongolia will fill positions 2, 3 and 4 of their respective groups. Qualifying matches will be played across 3 match days, June 8th, 11th and 14th, 2022, while the AFC Asian Cup China 2023 kicks off on June 16th, 2023. The International Judo Federation's World Judo Tour is back with the Tel Aviv Grand Slam in Israel due to run until Saturday. This is the second Grand Slam of the season, following the two-way event in French capital Paris earlier this month, where Japan topped the medal standings with 7 gold medals and Mongolia ranked 3rd. The Mongolian judokas won 3 bronze medals on the first day of the competition. The Tel Aviv Grand Slam, one of the World Series of Judo, kicked off yesterday. On the first day of the competition, in which 298 athletes from 34 countries competed, 6 athletes from our country competed and 3 of them won bronze medals. Basun, who competed in the women's under 48 kg weight category, lost to an Israeli judoka for the group title, but won a bronze medal in the follow-up bout, defeating Chile's Mari Divergesley and Serbia's Andrea Stojadinov. Tokhtachur, who competed in the men's under 60 kg weight category, lost in the quarterfinals to Artem Lesuk of Ukraine, but defeated Tornike Tsiakodo of the Netherlands for the bronze medal. Tornike beat Sumyatar in the follow-up bout, and Sumyatar took 7th place. Hirtlin, who competed in the men's under 66 kg weight category, lost in the quarterfinals to Azerbaijan's Yashar Nojafov, but won a bronze medal by defeating France's Daiki Buba. Satirteng and Oyun Chime, who competed in the women's under 57 kg weight category, were eliminated in the first round. Mongolia currently ranks in the 9th place in the overall standings. Now let's take a look at the weather forecast of world's major cities. Well, that's all for today, and thank you for staying with us. We will see you next week with more news and updates. Have a nice weekend. Goodbye.